Everybody, how are you this evening? Rob should be here any minute. Let me give him a call while you're here. I'll give you the phone number tonight for you guys to live show. Hey, I sent you an invite. We're live. All right, bye. If anyone wants to call in tonight, all right. Well, we got Monday Night Football and got big news. The Fever lost Timmy Fig-Benley, unfortunately. Sadly. Bengals at Cowboys tonight. Nobody really cares about that game, I guess. Neither team's going to make the playoffs. So, good games yesterday in football, though. Unfortunately, the Bills lost. An exciting game. Kansas City again won at the last moment. I got to stop doing that because I'm a Bills fan and a Packers fan. Oh, it's the fourth time they won in the last play of the game in a row. Fourth in a row, I think. So let me know who's here. Just 3 people. Make some comments. I put the phone number. Demi is bad. Yeah, some people said it would have been worse if they lost Grace Berger. I'm not convinced one way or another. I think it's very close. I think she was a very unique player, and I think young point guards that could be backup point guards, not starter caliber, because they don't have to be starter caliber because they have Caitlin Clark, I think are more common than Timmy. But that's just me. I don't know what's out there available in WNBA. Rob's here. So we're here. Chris said Timmy's bad. Bad that she's gone, I guess. There's a chance AK Nation may call into our show today. He saw our video based on his concept. So I guess someone must have told him. Or he found out about it. About the not going to factory schools if you're a guard that wants to shine. If you're not a system guard. I invited him on the show in the video, and then he calls. He goes, maybe I'll call in if I have time. So I gave him our number in the message. I don't have an email for him, so all I did was send him a message on the in our video in the comments. In the comments, because I can't find an email for him. He doesn't have it as his site. So we're up to 6 people. Let us know who's here and where you're from. Not that, I understand bad that she is gone. I understand, Chris, what you were saying.
Yeah, you're right, Chris. Yeah, it's gonna. I want to. Hopefully, they have a plan. I think they do. Otherwise,
unfortunately, but everybody lost a player. But I think the only quality players that were lost were her, Monica Billings, and what's that guard? Belgian guard with Van Loo. Kate Martin. She may be a quality player, but the other 3 had actually done something in the NBA.
Right.
So those teams all lost somebody because Monica Billings is a pretty good player. And I don't know. You said that another player you thought was pretty good. I can't remember watching her. I saw her play. I'm sure. I don't know how good she is. But Van Loo was like a 31-year-old or 30-year-old rookie. I think she's 31 now or something. I don't know. But I think she's a feisty player. I didn't like the defense she was playing against Clark, where she was basically face to face on her. I think that was illegal defense, but she just did that one time. But she's a pretty good player. So I guess they were $75,000 more. They were going to cost her. They're going to cost her $150 instead of $75 because she was going to ask for that, and someone's going to give her to her, and then they're going to have to match it. Or that's true or not, I don't know. That's just the theory. And I'm tired of the Chiefs winning at the last minute. Again, see, winning the last minute. I'm a Bills fan. I want the Chiefs to lose. The Bills to get the number one seed.
Are they not the luckiest team?
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of luck.
Chiefs are the luckiest team, don't you think?
Most of it is that he's the best quarterback of all time, probably at closing out games. That's Patrick Mahomes. He probably is. You can say Tom Brady, but I don't know, man. He looks even better.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to matter. He needs a field goal or touchdown drive at the end of the game. No matter how much time's left, he finds a way. He does it in the playoffs too. So I don't know what to say. He's magic.
Well, it's the other teams that choke.
TCU got
the other teams that choke. That's the thing.
Yeah, I watched the first half of that game, Rob. I did watch. I didn't watch that. I got sidetracked with a law business. I watched the first game of that, and South Carolina looks tough. Mm-hmm. They didn't look tough against UCLA, but that's only one game, so we'll see at the end of the year. I would say right now, South Carolina, UConn, or UCLA. If any of those three teams win it, I won't be surprised. And I'm not convinced on UCLA yet because they have a lot until someone beats them. I'm going to put them up there with the other two. Yeah, so we'll see. UConn's got too much talent for me to scout them.
They look pretty good.
You got the best rookie. You got the best freshman in the country, which she was rated number one. That's why Rob was so silly when the ESPN came up with their too early predictions. They had UConn 5. I go,
oh yeah,
really?
Too early.
They made the Final Four with 5 injuries. They have Paige Beckers coming back, and they have a number 1 player recruit in the country, and you put them in number 5. How could they be lower than number 2 after South Carolina?
Unbelievable.
How? Tell me that. They eventually raised them to 2 or 2nd or 3rd. But why do we know that with barely following college basketball, and they can't figure that out? And there's 3 of them doing it too. It's like 3 of them like going research. And it's like there's 2 of us barely even looking at it. We can figure that out.
What research are they doing? What research are they looking at, or what are they doing?
What's up,
Joseph? Hey, Joseph. No, Andy, he was saying that Timmy's bad. It's bad that Timmy left, not that she's bad.
Yeah. I knew what you meant as soon as you said that. I did.
Yeah.
Who can imagine and thinks she's bad? But Grace Berger fans, they're adamant that this is the right thing, and Grace just needs a chance. And they may be right. I just don't know. I haven't seen her play in quality minutes yet. I didn't watch in 2023. She made the all-rookie team, but she only played 14 minutes a game and only scored 4 points and 1.9 assists. That's not much to make. Apparently it's not very hard to make the all-rookie team. But she may be great. I don't know. I think she's good enough to be a backup point guard. Let's put it that way. 6 minutes a game to replace Caitlin Clark. I think she's good enough to do that. But whether she's going to give something more significant to the team, where she gets serious minutes, like she plays shooting guard sometimes, and there's a 3-guard rotation, I don't know if she's that good. But we'll find out. Huh?
Yep, we're not sure. Hey, Vadim. What's up? Van Dam.
Hey, Vadim. Yeah, my throat. I don't know. I'm fighting this cold, and this is the first time my throat's felt a little swollen. Well, headaches went away. So, hey, what's up? So, AK Nation saw one of our videos and said it was great because it was his concept. And he said he'd try to call in and debate Rob. Yeah, it is. I think the free agent season will be very interesting. Let me see. I have my notes, Rob, about the dates. I think February 1st was when they can first sign a free agent. And it's sometime in mid-January where you can, let's just see.
Hey, Boxing Bulldogs. That was pretty neat. The Jetsons
John the Liquidator. He's a clickbaiter. I can't watch his videos anymore, but he gets news. But yeah, big deal. So they talk to him. That's no surprise. Until she signs, whatever. No, they're friends. She's been complimented by Caitlin Clark. She probably does want to play there. She's probably torn because, she plays for.
You're right, Vadim. Yeah. Show up the coffee.
If AK calls in, screw up the coffee because he takes food. Yeah, I agree. I've said that when I analyzed him before. His videos could be cut in half easily. But he can be funny, and he knows basketball.
Yeah, he knows his thing. So, Joseph, why do you think Berger's going to be a good point guard? Like I said, we didn't really have a chance to see her play because of the way the situation. I hopefully she is. That's why they kept her. So we're
Let me
not
ask
sure.
you this, Joseph. I'm sorry, Rob. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I'm finished.
Did you see her play in 2023 when she actually played some meaningful minutes? Because she was the backup point guard as opposed to the mop-up point guard.
Yeah.
I didn't see her play. So
As we called that the scrub quarter, Mark.
Right. So I'm sorry for interrupting you.
I've been there.
Well, that's because the coach didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. If not her, I don't know who. Like I said, maybe a free agency.
Oh, here's the dates. Yeah.
People in.
January 21st, free agent registration begins. I don't know what that means, I guess. February 1st, you can start signing. So we won't know anything until February 1st at the earliest.
Yeah, we got to give Caitlin a brief. Yeah, thinking about giving Caitlin that, like you said, 6 minutes.
I agree. I said she needs to go down from
minutes.
38, 40 minutes to 34.
Right.
And someone like a big, they shouldn't play 34. They should play more like 32 or 30. They got bigger bodies.
Who's going to replace Smith?
So you see Rob, did you see the Jan Jensen tape? Did you listen to it? In the huddle?
Yeah, I saw that.
You think it's ridiculous that they're saying it was racist?
Yeah. I don't know, like I said, racist, that word now is being almost thrown around as much as woke, which really annoys the hell out of me. Yeah. It really annoys me, to tell you the truth.
If she had said smarter, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
But she said better.
Yeah,
and she didn't mention anything else.
That's just like saying, like I told you, you speak very well. Like thanks.
Well,
like I don't say, like I don't say, whoa, yo, sup, how you doing? What's high?
So plus all the Tennessee players aren't black, and all the Iowa players aren't white.
Yeah.
One of their starters is black, and one of their bench players are black. And Iowa, and I don't know, Tennessee, there was definitely white players on their team.
Yeah, she was trying to do that, Joseph, but in the speaking, it's kind of like you you don't have to say it that way.
Maybe it wasn't the best way to word it, but I don't think she meant it in a racist. She wasn't even thinking of that. She was just saying, hey, they're out playing us, Maybe they were out hustling them too.
But like with racism, I mean, the back of your head, I mean, you would think, I mean, you're saying that, and why do you have to even say that? Why do you have to say, if you're talking to a black person, wow, you speak very well? You don't say it to a white person, do you? Right, if they're talking well.
Well, why was that even taped? Because what was that? Was that a timeout? I know that when they first wanted to have the in-huddle conversations taped, the NBA coaches said, no way. You can do it when we're not talking about strategy, but you're not taping our whole huddle. So that's why you see these 15, 20-second things about, hey, we gotta beat them to the ball. We got to get the loose balls because it's not about strategy. And that's why you see these meaningless 15, 20-second things on NBAs, because the coaches said, you're not going to get any strategy in our thing. It's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, Mark, if I was a coach, NBA, college, whatever, and the person was coming up to me during the game, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm coaching, go away. And they probably wouldn't like me because I'm trying to coach the game.
I think they're obligated to in the NBA.
I would say no. I wouldn't sign it. Is there a contract I have to sign?
I think there is. I think that there's a players' agreement that they have to do that because the networks otherwise wouldn't give them as much money or something like that.
Well, I guess I wouldn't be coaching in the NBA then because I don't want.
I'm just saying. I think they're obligated.
Oh well, I wouldn't sign it. I don't care. I mean, you see, I think like even the coach for San Antonio, he hates doing that. Pops, you know, he was like, go away. He's like me, go away.
He answered though. He was
Talk
just
to
rude
you.
about it.
Yeah, that's how I would be.
His wife called him out for it. I heard. His wife said, "Stop being so rude to the announcers."
I don't know. I'd be rude. Like, I'm trying to coach my game. It's like when you know,
I agree with
away.
you, Rob, that they shouldn't have to do it. I'm merely
Yeah.
telling you what's my understanding is. I think there is something in a contract and players agreement, and I don't know how the coaches tie in with the players agreement, because I know the players have to talk to the press. That's why they get fined.
You got to put the headphone on and hey, so coach, what do you feel? I'm trying to play. I'm trying to watch my players play. I'm trying to go away. You know.
I will say, Rob, one of the reasons, not in your circumstance, Rob, because the jobs that you weren't at these salaries, the NBA coaches are getting paid millions of dollars, and one of the reasons they're getting paid millions of dollars is because of the television and the networks. So those networks are paying your salary. So even though you wouldn't want to talk to them, maybe you're getting millions and millions of dollars. You'd put up with that small one inconvenience because you know they're paying your salary. They're not paying your salary at college so much in high school and stuff like that. The networks. Well, they are in Division I college.
Right.
So I think that's the reasoning behind why they put up with it.
No, Boxing Bulldog, that ain't happening. Or Redeem, that's not happening. That ain't happening. I'm coaching the way I am. I ain't changing. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Rob, you might feel differently if you're making a couple $1 million. That you might say, okay, well, that's a small inconvenience for a couple $1 million. As part of the deal.
If they're going to pay me $1 million to speak, yeah. If they're just going to pay me a couple $1,000 and say, hey,
well, they're not paying you to speak, but I'm saying if you're an NBA coach, Rob, you're getting millions of dollars. My point is, you might put up with something like that, knowing that that's a small inconvenience, knowing that you got a job where you get paid millions of dollars. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I see. I mean, I see what you're saying. If they're paying me and it's like a 30-second thing and I'm getting paid, yeah.
But they're not paying you for that 30-second thing, Rob. They're paying you millions of dollars, and as part of your job requirements, you have to talk to the press once a game. That's what's happening. And what I'm saying is, you don't like doing that, but if you suddenly had a couple $1 million a year as part of that's part of your job responsibility. I think you would do it.
Right, that's part of the deal. Yeah,
I would do it. I would do it because it's between that and not having a coaching job that pays me millions of dollars. I would take the coaching job that makes $1 million.
Yeah,
for 30 seconds of inconvenience. That's all I'm saying. It's easy to say you wouldn't just say get out of here, but that's because it's a high school job, whatever. You could do that because you're not making money off the networks aren't making money off you.
Yeah, you're right. I probably wouldn't mind if it's in my contract. It also says you have to talk for 30 seconds in a game.
You'd be like
$1 million, Mark. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
You'd be like Pops.
But see, with me, I'd be very sarcastic though.
I would actually. I think they give away. Now, I know they're not giving any real secrets, but I think they give away a little bit too much sometimes. Sometimes they're too honest about the strategy and what they need to do.
I would just say basic things. It's like, yeah, we have to play better. They're scoring more points than us at the moment.
I know. Now. I think some of the coaches go farther than basic, and I wouldn't do that. I'd be like you. I'd be real basic.
That's all I would say. Like, well, yes, we're down. I think we have to score more points than them in order to win.
I mean, some of it's obvious, like we're committing too many turnovers. That's not really giving away strategy. But I've heard coaches go a little further than that. And I go, why are you saying that? So, I don't know. That's me. I don't know. Oh, my God. This is.
Yeah, some of the things the guys say to each other is totally unprintable. You're right, Joseph. Women are just as bad. Believe me, women are just as bad.
Josh Allen was awesome. Joseph. Josh Allen was awesome last night, and in a losing effort. That was impressive.
If I go to a team that has a bigger, taller, and stronger, how do you motivate your team? Chris, you motivate the team by go out there and play hard. I've played against teams that supposedly were better than me. When I played basketball, no matter who I played, I always thought I was better or as good as they were. I never thought like, oh, geez, this person's bigger than me and stronger than me. I won't be able to beat them. That's just my attitude. Yeah, Juan Soto, boxing for my Mets, boxing Bulldogs. Yeah, my Mets. That's a crazy contract. Unbelievable. Yeah, boxing. I saw Gino call out Page at halftime. He's a jerk.
Honestly, I wouldn't have used what she said as to try to get him motivated or whatever. I'm not saying It was awful. I would just say, you know what, we've got to be smarter. We've got to hustle more, and we got to do this, and this. I don't think that would be a way. Like when I captain Olin Frisbee, I would say things like, you guys, you got to get on your guy. You got to be closer to him. You know, start hustling on defense. You guys can't. You got to want it more than them. You got to cut harder. I'd say things like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, what's up, Jay?
And I talk about strategy a little bit. And please swoops. Whoa, what does that mean? Please swoop. And then he called this.
Yeah, I mean, Gino, it seems to be. I mean, I bet you Paige cannot wait to leave UConn. She cannot wait. She's just gonna. I think it feels like she's going through the motions, and it's like I can't wait to get the hell out of here. And I wonder after she leaves, will she will she break the UConn mafia and speak out against them? Say, guy's a jerk.
I think her game's going to open up a little bit when she gets in the WNBA. That's what we're talking about today. I can't promise it. I just think it will.
Oh yeah, Box. Yeah, Mets fan. That contract. I'm glad he's with the Mets, but that contract reminds me of Bobby Bonilla, who we're still paying after that. That contract.
So Rob, are you happy with that signing? My God, would they got him for like 15 years?
Yeah. So he's making $50 million a year, Mark. $50 million a year. That's $50 million a year.
I guess they can take 30 seconds to talk to the press, right?
Well, this reminds me of Bobby Bonilla when they signed Bonilla to this huge contract. And they're still paying for it. They every day they have like this Bobby Bonilla day where he gets like $11 million. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, Joseph. I don't think Caitlin, with her mentality, I don't think she would put up with his crap. The way she is, I don't think she would put up with his crap.
Yeah, that Tanaya Latson, she had two big games in a row, Rob. She's leading scoring. She's averaging like 28 points now.
Yep.
So they keep pushing Juju, and she keeps putting up better stats than her. Let's see when she plays against better teams. She's in the ACC, I guess. So we'll see. She's not going to.
Yeah, what's up, Dennis? Yeah, you're right, Dennis. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't have two good games, and she was playing really well until the last two games. So I'm not going to jump on her case. I mean, Michael Jordan had 2 off games in a row in his career. So I'm not going to jump on her case yet. But Juju had some bad games, and then, so we'll see. And she did a little, got her numbers up against some really bad teams. I won't say the word or the phrase that people say, because I'm not sure really. I didn't watch the games, but it's a little suspect. Let's put it that way. So, anyways, the college football pairings came up today, and the women's basketball rankings came out, Rob. But there were no surprises there. You want to go over those? I'm
responding to the comments. That's all. We gotta respond to the comments.
Yeah. I am going to talk about the women's basketball rankings. Let's see the rankings.
Yeah, I think you're right, Boxing. She's got that curse on Ellie McDuncan, Monica McNutt curse. They've cursed they cursed Juju, now it's Paige. Yeah, you're right.
Well, now look, I can remember Dick Allen signing for $225,000 for 3 years. So I guess it was $225,000 a year.
Yeah, Dick Allen going to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he's going to the Hall of Fame, which is cool.
$675,000 for 3 years, and we thought that was like a tremendous amount of money. It was like
right,
and it was like $225,000 a year.
Well, we discussed this before. All these players should bow down every time they get this money. They should go and bow down to Curt Flood's grave and say thank you very much.
Curt Flood should have been a billionaire. Seriously, he should have been a billionaire. He made everybody else rich.
Yeah, every time they get this big money. Shoot, they said Conforto, who used to be with the Mets, for like $17 million. I'm like, what? He sucks.
Fired Dinglebert chat. So Kathy Dinglebert And which name's better, Kathy Dinglebert? That's good, or Kathy
Dingleberry.
Dingle Brain Dead? Engle Brain Dead.
I like Dingle Brain Dead. I like Dingle Brain
That's
Dead.
what Ben Daniels' podcast calls her. But Dinglebert's pretty good too, because it's like Dingleberry. It's like sounds like a dingbat.
Most people don't know what a dingleberry is, by the way.
Oh, Dingleberry. I don't remember what a dingleberry is.
What? You don't know what a dingleberry is?
No.
Oh my gosh. You can look it up, Mark.
So I invited AK Nation.
Right, Joseph. Yeah, that voodoo doll she had finally got the sides, little jabs, the side.
A foolish or inept person. Small piece of poop, also. All
Well,
right.
did you have a dog,
It's 2 meanings.
Mark? Did you have a dog?
I did. The dachshund.
Yeah. Well, I don't think dachshunds had that, but if you have like one of those furry dogs, a furry dog, and then you look from behind, some of their I can't say this is a family show.
Oh,
So,
fur. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what it was. That's
All right. Yeah. So, anyways, on the rankings, nothing extravagant came out except for TCU had to drop 3 spots because they had lost bad to South Carolina, and USC is up to number 5.
Were you surprised? Were you surprised by that, Mark? That game that they lost by that much?
Well, I don't know. South Carolina, after isn't it like a 3rd game in a row they blew someone out after they lost. It's like,
yeah, that's how
just
that's
like
what
crushing
they
people. They're so pissed off about that loss.
do. Yeah, yep.
They have so much depth. I don't know how she must be the best recruiter in the world. She has even more depth than UConn and UCLA. They have a lot of depth.
Well, they won with 2 freshman guards last year. They won the championship. They were on the field too. They lost the whole starting 5, and they still won the championship with 2 freshmen guards.
They seem to have 10 good players every year.
That's why I was saying that high school player wouldn't mind if she watched that game. She wouldn't mind going there because their fast break, the dunk. That was. They're all talking about the dunk.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. Shira Mill Lisa could have if
No, Chris, they can't do that. I mean, they can't even do it out of college.
Lisa Leslie did play in the WNBA. Lisa Leslie has a ton of MVPs and championships, and she has more MVP shares than anybody in the history of the WNBA. So she played a lot of years in the WNBA. Yeah. Shira Miller did not play in there.
You're correct, Joseph. Both are not enduring.
So. No, they can't go. They can play 2 years earlier if they're from Europe, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah. How come they can come from Europe? And I don't know. Because this sophomore class. If you guys are watching college basketball, and the sophomore class and the sophomores that are playing for these teams, they're like the best players on the team.
Oh, maybe the freshman team. What about Sarah Strong?
Yeah, even the freshman. Yeah, the sophomore and freshman team is it's wild.
No,
there was no WNBA when she was out of college. You're right, Vadim. There was no WNBA when she was.
What was she saying? Could have if there was an NBA back then. Oh, they could have. Oh, they could have gone to the league early. Oh, you're saying they were good enough to play? Yeah, Shira Miller was good enough after her freshman year in college. She was probably by her sophomore year in college, she was probably the best player in the world. So,
well, I told you the story. She used to make Reggie cry when they played basketball because she used to whoop up on him.
She didn't win. She didn't win Player of the Year her freshman year. Ann Donovan won it, but she was, by all accounts, by the end of the year, she was the best player in the country, if not second best player. And then the next year, she was the best player in the country. And at that time, it was just U.S. and Russia, and that was it. And there was just this tall 7'2" woman in Russia. And that was about it. Other than that, Cheryl Miller was the best player in the world by the time she was 19 years old.
Wow, Joseph, you've heard that, Joseph? That's wild.
That?
Oh my gosh, that's pretty wild. Those are fighting words right there.
Your wife is waiting for me.
Those are fighting words right there. That's pretty good, actually.
Lisa Leslie was tall enough that she could probably enter the WNBA early.
Yeah, those two, I would say those two definitely would have easily made it.
But yeah, I mean, Juju's got enough size, but honestly, she shouldn't have come out after her freshman year. She had more turnovers and assists. She had a bad shooting percentage. She needs another year before she goes to get ready to the WNBA, even if the thing that's saving her is the size. And
So do you think Paige is really going to go to Dallas, or is she going to pull I want to go to another team like LA?
I don't know. She doesn't seem like that type of person.
I think she just wants to get out of UConn. Let me out of here.
She'll go wherever she gets drafted, make the most of it, and then when she's a free agent, she can change after 4 years or whatever. Yes. She had, okay. Well, Lisa Leslie had many years in the WNBA. So she graduated in,
I
there's
think
been
you're right,
28
boxing.
years.
I think you're right, boxing Bulldogs. I mean, the age does make a difference when you're playing basketball, even that 1 year of age. So if they have to stay to 22, that's really kind of cool because I mean, I think you're right. I think it makes it, as you see now, the game looks a lot better. I like watching it. Do you think they should have us you think eventually with all these young players coming up and even better players, Mark, you think they're going to form another like a G League for the women's team? You think they're going to do like the NBA, form a G League type thing?
Who's going to go watch that? I mean, they're going to play in front of nobody.
Well, G League's the same. I mean, G League's playing, but I'm just saying it's like, I mean, they're doing it like they're doing it just like the NBA. It's like a minor league team to get players. If you got a player that you want to develop and play more, but I'm kind of thinking they won't because like since they leave college at 22, they're already kind of mature, so they kind of know their game is probably that's what they're going to get out of the game. But I think if it gets these players, like I said, you get these young players coming in.
I mean, I suspect at some point they'll have a G League, but I think they're pretty far away from that right now. They always have the option of going over to Europe, and I don't think there's enough players that come in because they have all these expansion teams coming in, so they're already.
Oh right, yeah,
that's true. They got, and would someone explain to me why they can't wait 1 more year for another expansion team? They're going to try to add 2 expansion teams in 1 year. That's crazy. How those teams are going to be weak because they're going to get fewer talent to draw from. Why not just add 1 every year for 4 straight years? Unless they're going to
go and let the women come out of college early. Yeah, you're right, Mark. It's going to be so diluted, very diluted.
Man, I'd hate to be a franchise paying for that and then say, okay, so now they get like they're going to be getting like the 7th player, and then the other team has to pick the 8th. Now you got to pick the 8th, and then they're going to pick the 7th. You're not even getting the best available player out of the top 6. And then in the draft, what are they going to do about the draft?
Yeah,
are they going to get like the 3rd and 4th pick?
You're right, Chris. They could play well together. You never know. I don't know what's going to be if she goes to Dallas.
Yeah, Thursday night. Should we do live for that? Thursday night is UConn versus Notre Dame. We should do live for that, Rob. Are you working?
No, actually, I have Thursday off.
You guys want us to do live UConn Notre Dame? That's a big matchup. You may have the 2 best players in the country if Paige is the best player on her team.
No,
And Hannah Hidalgo.
no, Essie's the one. She's the one. Like I told you, it's like Essie, Strong, and then Beckers. That's what it seems like to me.
They'll be the worst team in the league next year, unless they get really some free agents that I'm not expecting them to sign. Boxing and Bulldog being for life. That could be. It's a nice matchup. Paige and Hannah might be the two best players in the country, and they're both guards. Hannah won't shy away from covering Paige.
Well, they never did.
Always protects Paige, and we got to save her for energy for offense, so I won't play her defense.
Right.
At what time? Do anyone know when the game is? Is it 7 and 9? What time's the game?
Look it up.
That's Thursday. That's the first big game in the year. 7. Okay, I could do the 7.
All right.
Remind me, Rob, if you can.
I know because you're old. I'm old.
I know. It's just not something I think about. Caitlin Clark games. I can't forget those. They're always in the news.
Joseph, you might watch. Wow. I might pull you out. I thought you were waiting until May.
Well, Hannah's the most exciting player, but I haven't seen Latson play yet. I need to watch a Florida State game. She just had like a huge game again, and I saw some highlights of her, and she's got a great game.
Get a Mick Talks Hoops crossover.
That'd
be hard. That'd be hard because of the time difference. He's over in Ireland. That's about a 6-hour difference.
Well, it doesn't matter. He does them live too. He just wakes up. He just stays awake. He doesn't sleep, I don't think.
That would be. That'd be nice. That'd be really cool.
We can invite AK Nation. Now he's our friend. I don't know if he's going to call in. I don't know if he got my message or not. Let me see if he got the message. Let me go to the. Let me just see if he got the message.
I think people would tune in to see UConn lose. Not too many people except outside of UConn, like the UConn team, I think.
I don't know. If Sarah Strong is really as good as people say, I don't see him losing.
She's really good, but she's really good. She's good.
I've only seen her play a half, so I don't know. She looked good to me.
Yeah, like I said, I saw her play this summer, and she was dominant in the summer.
Well,
with international teams, they were.
You have to see her play against good college teams.
Well, there's not too many good college teams. So.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. Those are the games you have to evaluate.
This is because she's not playing as a college team. If you see someone play, and she was good.
I understand that, but when these like you see Juju go off for 40 against a team that's 0-9, can you really evaluate how good she is until she played? Then you saw the same game against Notre Dame, she looked a completely different player. So
that's because coaches matched up. And like unlike sides, we're going to double team her and cause her to give up, to turn the ball over. Dennis, I cheer for any team against UConn. UConn's like the Oakland Raiders of the back in the day when the Raiders were really really tough. Everybody's rooting against the Raiders back in the day.
Yeah, but they had a big following too, though, right?
They still do. They still do, even though they're in Las Vegas. I lucked out, like I said, I got a chance to actually go to a Raider game. That was pretty cool.
Wait, what happened to AK Nation's message? Some messages gone.
Hey, Fitness. Oh, you like UConn? That's cool.
AK Nation. You guys want to hear what he had to say? See, it was his idea about the.
Well, we don't want to hear the whole thing. It's okay. Yeah, the snake Stabler. Yeah.
I remember that where he's falling down, he throws it in the end zone.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can down UConn, but they get all the recruits, and you wonder why they get all the recruits. So if everyone
Yeah.
wants to play for, they want to play for Gino. We can down, and everyone wants to play. Everyone wants to play for UConn.
I'll be honest. I'm not rooting for UConn. I don't root for UConn, period, because I don't like Gino. But I'm not rooting for UConn twice this year because I don't want Paige to have a championship. And then they'll say, "Oh, Paige is better than Kate. Look at she's got a championship," and which isn't true. It's just they got a really stacked team. I mean, like she had a lousy game and they crushed that other team, and she had a lousy game. Caitlin Clark has a lousy game, and Iowa loses last 4 years. And I'm not rooting for Juju.
Ken O'Brien, my God, for the Jets. Ken O'Brien, brutal. How about Allen yesterday, Mark? How about Allen? He's MVP. It's locked up. It's locked up.
I would vote for him, and I don't like to always vote for quarterbacks, but he's got to be dragging the Bills. I mean, Barkley's having a great year. So
no, but after last night's game and these previous other games, I think Allen's got locked up.
He just looks like he's so important to the team. But I'm a Bills fan, so I'm biased.
Well, I mean, I'm not a Bills fan. I'd vote for him.
Then I trust your judgment, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, he just looked. I mean, great. I was like, wow, what a game! What a game!
Well, when he beat Kansas City, it was because of him. He made that. He made the whole game.
He just puts it in his mind that we're gonna. I mean, he goes to that huddle, and I could just see him saying, "We're gonna win this game. Come on, guys."
Sometimes seems men among boys when he runs the ball.
Sometimes near the end of that game, he was throwing the ball away, and it wasn't very that accurate. He kind of misses wide open players. I was like, those passes, like, that guy's wide open. How can you miss that?
So let me see about this bracket. I haven't even seen the bracket yet. So Rob, Boise State got a bye because they won a conference. They won a conference. They won a conference. So Boise State got a bye, and they're a 3 seed.
Alabama's crying. Where Alabama?
They're not in.
No.
And neither is Miami.
No. Well, Alabama's the biggest one who were crying.
They had 3 losses, didn't they?
Yeah.
Alabama had 3 losses. Oh, they didn't make it because 2 teams that won the conference were outside of the top 11. So Rob, you had to be seated. You had to be in the top 10 this year. Last year, well, they just showed me an example from last year where of the 5 teams that won their conferences that were the highest seeded, 4 of them were in the top 11. And 1 wasn't. So the 12th seed wouldn't have made it last year. This year, the 11th and the 12th seed didn't make it. Right. Oh, no, the 11th and the 13th seed didn't make it because Arizona is the 12th seed and they won a conference.
Right.
So Arizona State. I'm sorry.
And they're saying, well, we play in the SEC. We play against the toughest teams. So the bottom line is win the games. That's all you have to do. If you win the games, you have no problem.
Yeah, I mean, why are you claiming you're one of the best teams in the country when you have 3 losses? Stop it.
Just win the games. Quit your whining. If you're the best
3
team.
losses. That's too many. I'm glad they're not in with 3 losses. If they had 2 losses, whatever, that's fine. But 3 losses too many.
Yeah.
And Miami played an easy schedule, and they still had 2 losses.
They lost to Miami, and they lost to Syracuse.
We know Syracuse isn't that good.
Yeah, we're Syracuse. We're Syracuse fans, but we know. But this year,
I wanted Colorado in, but they didn't get in because they had 3 losses. If they had one more game in the Big 12, they would have been Big 12 championship. They won that, they would have been in, but they didn't.
Syracuse is in a bowl game to play in Washington State.
At least they're in a bowl game, but that was automatic. You don't need 6 wins to get in a bowl game. So Clemson won the ACC.
Yeah.
Arizona State won the Big 12, and Arizona State only had 2 losses. Colorado had 3, so they got in. So okay, it's too bad Colorado didn't get in, but maybe they won't. Next year he'll be gone. It'd be too bad, but because we could see him in potentially, I don't know if they're going to win the championship anyways, but they were a deadly team. They were just a dangerous team if they got hot.
So do they have a breakdown of the odds yet for the college women's who's gonna win the thing? Do they have a
Well, if they're ESPN odds, I'll ignore them because
you know
I'll listen to DraftKings, but I won't listen to ESPN. How many championships does UConn have in women's basketball? 11. In men's, it's 5, I think. Right?
Yeah.
I think it's 11-5, but I could be wrong.
Geez, you think if Paige doesn't win this year, she's eligible for one more year. I think she'll stay.
No. She's not staying. She'll get so much crap for being too old and all that.
But Mark, in order to be a great player, she has to win a championship. She'll come out of UConn without a championship. If she
might. South Carolina looked awful good the last couple of games. She might come out. And UCLA, so we'll see. We don't know how good UCLA is because who did they beat besides South Carolina? Did they play any other tough teams? I don't know who else they played that was tough. Let me look at their schedule. I mean, they looked good against South Carolina, but it was one game.
Yeah.
And let me just see, Rob. Let me see what their schedule was. Did they beat any other ranked teams? But they know what I liked about their team, Rob? They were balanced.
Yeah.
UCLA. They played defense. They ran a little bit. Real or not, Gamecocks back in championship form. Hidalgo for player of the year. Are you kidding me? ESPN put that in the headlines? They're putting someone besides Juju or Page in the headlines for player of the year? That's got to be a mistake, Rob. This is ESPN.
Wow. Wonders, wonders, miracles of miracles.
UConn will run the table.
Wonders, miracles of miracles.
No one's going to run the table. I agree, Rob. I agree with you. You said nobody's going to run the table. I agree with you.
No, it's not going to happen.
Okay, Hannah Hidalgo is the country's best sophomore in cheap competition to Beckers for National Player of the Year. Verdict, not an overreaction. Rob, not an overreaction. I just saw this. They're saying that's not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
Oh, Charlie Cream, he's reasonable. Yeah, he's the one that said something positive about something before.
He's all right.
Okay. He said something good before that recently that I liked. All right. He's making the case for her.
Well, UCLA played Louisville. Louisville played them close. Played, that's about it. Louisville. That's probably the closest. And Louisville and South Carolina was the toughest competition. Oh, I got to go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Got to go to the restroom. I'm getting old.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's a good point that Hidalgo is an elite defender. Watkins is merely a good defender. So now we have to talk about, and she's a better passer than her. They're scoring as much. So I don't know. Let's see what you guys are saying out here. Brianna will regret that one for sure. We'll regret it if Paige doesn't win a championship. She'll regret her comment. Is that what you're saying, Joseph? Yeah, if Paige doesn't win a championship, all the UConn people will all have a new definition of what a great player is. They're going to move the goalposts. I guarantee you that they will move the goalposts. I'm going to do a video on it the minute that UConn loses if they lose. But I think they have a good chance. Unfortunately, but there's nothing against UConn or UCLA. I mean, Southern California, UCLA. I just think one player does. Don't you know that? Brianna Stewart, who played with more WNBA players, of all the great players in the history of college basketball, 12, than anyone else says, oh, yeah, you got to win a championship. It's self-serving, just like Jay Williams who said, oh, you got to have a chip.
Jay Williams. Yeah, Jay Williams. Once you ride a motorcycle again, you idiot. How to ruin your career.
Yeah.
Trying to show off on a motorcycle.
I can't wait to see what happens if UConn does not win a championship and how they rate Paige Beckers. And I have nothing against Lee because I think she's a big talent and she's gonna. I think her skills translate as long as she's healthy to the WNBA. So I'm not even questioning her abilities in WNBA. She got nice size even though she's not strong. She's got nice size. She's got long arms and she plays taller than 6 feet because of her long arms. I think.
Joseph. So then they used to call they call USC the University of Spoiled Children. you call them a public school across the town. They call USC the University of Spoiled Children.
All right.
Right, Vadim. Remember the glory days when Dina won the championships by herself? Right.
Taurasi won 3 championships by herself.
All by herself. That's right, Vadim. Right, Vadim.
Let me see. So the football game started on the 20th. Is that a Saturday? I hope it is.
The playoffs?
Yeah, it says it start the 20th. Yeah, because I think the New Year's Day is the after the first round, the second round. Let me just see. What day of the week is the 20th? Is that?
Yeah, Dennis, good post person. My girl, Audie.
Oh, they start Friday night because there's 4 of them. They're gonna have one on Friday night probably and 2. All right.
Well, fitness, she didn't have a stacked team either. She did it mostly on herself.
Notre Dame plays Friday night against Indiana. Oh. Hey, Rob, Penn State didn't look bad against Oregon. I didn't see the whole game, but
yeah, they did.
You think they were any good, but they held their own against Oregon.
Yeah, they hung in there.
It was in Oregon. They might be better than you think.
They hung in there.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark had a participation trophy in college. She wasn't any good. Fitness 3000 says she's no good. Is that a broadcaster? Is that a YouTuber? Fitness 3000.
That's on our thing, Mark. She's on the chat.
Oh, really? Is she?
You better fix those glasses.
Well, I can't remember every person that makes a comment.
No, you can't remember. It's right there. She's right there.
What? Oh. Well, she didn't say she's not a great player. She just said she had a great college career, but no championships. She didn't say she's not great because she didn't get a championship.
No, she said that Caitlin Clark. No, I don't know. She was. We were talking about if you were great, you'd have to have a championship. Basketball is a team sport, fitness.
But she didn't say. Yeah, she didn't say that she wasn't great. She just said she had a great college career with no championships. She didn't say she wasn't great because she didn't get a championship.
Well, Joseph, yeah, she probably would have made more of the revenue if the WNBA would have promoted her more. She probably would have made even more revenue. She sold out arenas. Name one of the players who did that. Did Asia Wilson do that? Sell out the arenas? 30,000, 20,000?
I was sticking up for you, Fitness 3000. I know you didn't say that. I saw your comment. Your comment doesn't imply anything bad about Caitlin Clark.
Right. Okay, right, Fitness. Okay.
Play for Gino and become a clone.
Yeah, right, Vadim. Yeah, AJ was filling arenas. And also, long before CC, AJ Wilson was filling arenas. Of course, the arenas were like seating 5,000. if even that, 4,000.
Well, I told you I already voted for Caitlin Clark for MVP this year. I already got my vote in.
That's right.
Last year, they only made AJ take 2 games before they voted for her. I figured, why they moved it back from 40 games to 2? Why can't I move from 2 to 0?
Yeah, well, yeah, because they added the games, Mark. So they added.
Yeah, I know who she's going to play. I can predict who's the MVP is going to be.
Right. Yeah, I mean, AJ Wilson's a great ball player. She didn't get the MVP the previous year, so she was just determined to get it this year. So she did. She played well. She played MVP. Yeah, she
voted for herself.
Yeah, she's playing for us. Well, yeah, she won the MVP.
A'ja Wilson had only one 5-star recruit on her team. Is that what you're saying? Caitlin Clark had none. The highest rated recruit was a 4-star recruit on her team. That was Hannah Stokey, I think, was a 4-star recruit.
No, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't pay to see her. Are you guys seeing what the ticket prices are now for when Caitlin Clark, when they put in the Fever coming to town? Have you seen the ticket prices already? When the Fever play?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mark?
The key is to wait to the day before and see if they're not sold out, the prices will come down.
What was the one you said over 200, 300, Mark?
They were between 225 and 2,225.
to see WNBA.
Oh, Bobby's here with his 4th best
right,
player
Bobby.
in the NBA.
Yeah, Bobby.
So, Bobby, I've decided I'm going to start a betting line over under on how many games it takes before Caitlin Clark is the best player in the league. And Rob and I are going to decide when she is. And we'll get a third person to vote. So we'll get a third person to vote. You can't vote because you already think she's the best player. We'll let Robin vote. Robin Lundberg or him vote.
We should let Monica McNutt vote.
She'll vote for like 120 million games. That's what she'll vote for. The 1-5 recruit was Caitlin Clark, right? No, I agree. I thought you were saying maybe that A'ja Wilson played with only 1-5. I don't know how many 5-star recruit A'ja Wilson played with at South Carolina. They weren't as dominant back then. But Caitlin Clark played with none besides herself, right? She was the only 5-star recruit on the team. Hannah Stokey was a 4-star recruit. And
yeah, I think so, Joseph. I think she's going to have an awesome sophomore year. I think she is.
Yeah, I think she's going to be MVP.
No sophomore slump. I don't think there's going to be a sophomore slump.
And I think she's going to be the best player in the league at some point. Bobby thinks she is already. So does I think AK Nation will agree with you. Chick Sticks Gar podcast, he hasn't said one way or another. He just said I could make an argument for her being the MVP.
I'm sure Mick says so. I'm sure Mick thinks she's going to.
Mick has not said she's the best player in the league. He thought, in fact, he thinks Napheesa Collier is better than A'ja Wilson, and he thinks A'ja Wilson deserved the MVP, though. So he goes back and forth. So he's not said that Caitlin Clark was the best.
Come on, Mick. Pick a lane. Pick a lane, Mick.
He has not said that yet.
Pick a lane.
I listen to his, as much as it kills me, I listen to his, most of his, not all of his tapes, but some of them. The ones that interest me.
Pick a lane.
Right. I agree with you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Boston will come in shape. Exactly. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about that. She learned her lesson.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I'm disappointed in her, though, because when you play such a short season, there's no reason for you not to come in shape the next year.
Yeah, have another donut. Have another donut.
Someone said in a comment, well, she was bulking up because she had to, go up against these women in the post and stuff like that. I go, well, she saw Caitlin Clark play in Iowa. She knew Caitlin Clark was going on a run, so she should have been ready for that. You know exactly how Caitlin Clark played. She lost to her senior year because Caitlin Clark ran against her.
Right.
It wasn't just a heavy. She wasn't in shape. It's like she couldn't run. She got tired easily too. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, what Gretzky was awesome. He was crazy great.
Are you sure he got 8 straight MVPs from his rookie year? I thought that was like year 2 through 9. Really? Okay, I'll look it up. I'm not
good.
saying you're wrong. I know he got 9 MVPs. I already know that. So he got 8 in a row, and then he got 1 after that. That seems weird to me.
Speaking of Boston, I'm a Boston Bruins fan from way back. Yeah, you're right, Finnis. Yeah, waiting to working. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. This lead to no championships. It's team ball. Wow, that's cool, Joseph. Wow, that's awesome. I got to coach Bob Skaggs' son, Austin, Oscar. That was kind of fun. I got to meet Bob Skaggs. That was pretty cool. No, most hockey players, Joseph, most of the hockey players I've met, they're so cool. They're the best. I've met some of our local, when I was in Rochester, some of our local hockey players, even like our enforcer. Our enforcer, he was the only black guy they had on the team, Val James. And, after the game, he was a bouncer, but after the game, the guy's the freaking nicest guy in the world. I went to, he was bouncing at this bar, and then I came in by myself, for New Year's Eve, and he goes, "Are you here with anybody?" I go, "No." He says, "Okay, hey, there's some players over there. Why don't you go sit and hang out with them?" I thought that was so cool. Yeah, hockey players are really cool because they come up from they don't come from a rich background. Yeah, Gretzky, can't say enough about him.
So he won Rookie of the Year in 1979.
Vadim, you're funny. I know, it's kind of scary on Vadim.
Okay, so according to this, that you're wrong about that, and I'm right. He got Rookie of the Year is in 79. He was MVP the next 8 years after that, according to Wikipedia. Go ahead, look it up. He got MVP. He was Rookie of the Year in 79. He won MVP first time in 1980. He won 80 through 87, and then he won in 89. He won 9 times. I did a video on the greatest hockey players of all time. I remember that. Go ahead and look it up, Boxing Bulldogs.
Yeah, I know. I understand Vadim, yeah.
He didn't win he didn't win MVP his rookie year.
Did you like to watch hockey, Mark? Did you go to any games?
Hockey
games?
Not much.
Really? Me and my dad were only blacks there. We were only black people at the game.
The Broad Street bullies from Philadelphia, where I live now, turned me off to hockey.
No, but I mean in Rochester, you didn't see.
I see the Rochester Americans. I went to Rochester American games.
Yeah, me and my dad were the only blacks.
I remember seeing you there. You're the only blacks there. How could I miss you?
Yeah, could you miss me? Me and Val James, who was on the team. Do you remember Val James, the enforcer they
James?
had? He scored the winning. He was the enforcer for them, and he scored the winning goal to beat New Haven to win the championship in the Calder. The place went wild.
The other problem I had with hockey is half the time I don't see the puck go in the goal, and I'm not making a joke. It's like half the time it goes in the goal, and I don't really see it go in the goal because the puck's too small.
God, the worst thing they did is when they had it on TV and they kind of laminated it. That was horrible.
Well, it's saying he won it in 79 on Wikipedia, and he won the MVP in 80. So let me just see. That's what it's saying.
Many fights in a hockey game broke out. Joe days. Chris, football and soccer. Soccer, I cannot do with it. For me, with soccer,
he played for the Edmonton Oilers in WHA.
Yeah.
And then they moved to the NHL.
Yeah, Chris, I can't deal with soccer. For me, if you're
WHA Rookie of the Year.
If you're running for like 90 minutes, I'd be so pissed I didn't score a goal. I mean, 0. It's 0-0. The Simpsons did a great thing on soccer. That was a great skit when soccer came to Springfield. That was a great skit. Well, Jay, I don't think they could have interacted. I don't know if they have that tampering thing like the NBA does, or football. Maybe they couldn't talk to her because they were that would have been tampering if they were sitting together. Even though they could have said, "Oh, you're friends," but maybe they could have insinuated that was tampering. Oh yeah, I mean, well, Joseph, I watched Pele. I grew up. I got to watch Pele, and all those other great players in their prime. They're amazing. They're amazing. Oh, I like Messi. I mean, it's for me. I mean, soccer is definitely a skill sport, but it takes a win. I pass it back here. I pass it back here. I wish they would make. I wish they would make it's okay. They wouldn't count offside so they could score more. Well, they flop. They do more than here and there. There's always a flop. The guy touches them, and it's like. Oh yeah, you're right, Bobby. I mean, I got to see him at the end of his career when he played for the Cosmos, when Rochester had an NASL.
Apparently, the Edmonton Oilers changed leagues in 79 to 80.
Yeah, some of the WHL teams came over into just like the ABA teams came over into the NHL. Some of the teams.
Yeah, he won Rookie of the Year in the WHA for the Edmonton Oilers, and Edmonton Oilers apparently changed leagues in 79 to 80.
Mm-hmm.
So he really wasn't a rookie. I don't know,
Chris. I still watch basketball over soccer. I tried it. My team's in Newcastle, but it's kind of brutal to watch. I'm just like, okay, pass it back there, pass it back there. But there are some phenomenal. For me, the way they curve that ball with their foot is the shots are just amazing.
Too bad he wasn't Michael's opponent. They played against each other very little.
Yeah.
So I was watching the NBA ABA All-Star game, and Dr. J stole the ball, and then he took off almost on the free throw line and dunked it, and we fell out of our seats.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, that play is not on tape. They lost part of that game, and they lost that tape.
Jeez.
You can't find that highlight. But I saw it live with my dad because we were watching, and one of my at least a couple of my brothers.
Uh-huh.
And I remember falling on my seat, and I'd never seen anything like it. It was the most exciting play I'd ever seen it up to that point. And then that's when, after that All-Star game, people were saying You have to have Dr. J in the NBA. You can stop it.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's why the leagues combined was because Dr. J.
Well, they had to because the NBA was sucking. They sucked. And then when they combined, they moved up. They were going downhill NBA until they combined because the ABA was that's where the 3-pointer came from. The ABA.
Yeah. Well, now it's too much 3-point shot. So
yeah, that's all they do. I'm like, ugh.
Talk about that.
Yeah, it really takes away from the game. I'm like, I'm not trying to be old school, but still, I'm like, yeah.
Well, 50 shots is 3-point shots now.
Well, look at Boston. Yeah, that's how Boston crushed the Knicks. The first game, they shot like 50. They made like 50 or 60% of their three-pointers. That's why they won the game.
I know. Why is this guy wearing a cowboy hat?
Oh yeah, you're watching. Yeah, I know. I don't know.
The Monday Night Countdown. Who is?
Yeah, I'm watching. That's who is that? That is. What the hell is that? I gotta see his face. Whoa, Ryan's all dressed up. What happened? Usually just as like a slob.
It looks like he trimmed his beard a little bit too.
Trimmed his beard, doesn't look like a slob. He's all dressed up. What happened?
Magic was the most exciting player in the pre-Jordan era. I'd take Julius Erving, but Magic would probably be second.
I'll take Earl Monroe, my man Earl the Pearl.
Kenny Hawkins was the first one that was doing those kind of moves before.
I read his book, Mark. That was a great book. It's called Foul. He wrote a book, Kenny Hawkins.
Kenny Hawkins.
He had huge hands. His hands were huge.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. The definitely the Lakers played fast. That's why Magic. That's why Magic was popular.
Well, Caitlin's going to This is what I'm going to like about, like Mark and I were talking about this. It's primary. The league has always been, including the NBA. There's always a forward and center league. Get the ball, old dinosaur basketball, and that's what the problem was with the sides. I mean, Caitlin's like, I want to get the ball and go and push it, and then she saw what happened, and the other players like, yeah, this is cool. It's much better to watch.
I think the players ignored sides after the Olympic break and started playing what they wanted to do. That's how they went on a winning streak. They ignored her.
Yeah.
You notice she wasn't micromanaging as much on the sidelines after the Olympic break, and they started winning.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be the trend for. I mean, like I said, I've watched other international basketball, and they get the ball and they just go.
Bobby, if I say that Caitlin Clark is the best women basketball player in the world, will you stop writing that? Or will you get counseling? One of the two have to happen because I can't stand you just writing that every time.
Well, he writes it because he knows it bothers you.
It doesn't bother me. I think it's ridiculous, but
it bothers you.
I'm just pretending it bothers me now to make him happy. I don't care. He can write it all he wants. It's not going to change my opinion on.
There you go, Caitlin Clark. See,
there you go. So you know her name.
Da, 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 da.
I'm going to do an over/under. I told you, and how many games I think it's going to take her to be the best player in the league.
What, Sling TV is going to raise the rate to $5 more? I have Sling TV.
Who is?
Sling TV. They're pretty good.
3,000 thinks she's not the best player in the WNBA right now. If she isn't. Why not? I'll give you two reasons: defense and turnovers. And I don't think the turnovers is a major thing.
But the defense definitely is.
If you see the three players that are ranked ahead of her in my mind, who are Breanna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, and A'ja Wilson, they are all three of them are excellent offensive players and excellent defensive players, like 3 of the 5 best defensive players in the league. And they're not as good as making their teammates better, and they're not as good offensively probably as Caitlin Clark overall because of her passing, but they're way better than her defensively. And you have to consider a Bird made all defensive team twice, though. His second team all defensive team twice. Magic was not a good on-ball defender because the guards were too quick for him, but he was a good All right, I need an enema. All right, whatever. Magic was a good off the ball defender. He had a lot of steals. And by the time he didn't win MVP for a while either. Bird kept winning it.
Right, Joseph. I agree
need
with
an
that.
enema. Lawrence, I don't need comments like that. You need an enema. If all you want to do is jack up a bunch of stats, what does that have to do with my comment that I made? Who just jacks up shots? What does that have to do with the fact that she's not nearly as good a defender as the three-player?
Hey, retro hairstyle, 1983. Let's see.
How you doing?
My hairstyle in '83 was I had a little fro. I had little hair back then.
That's all part of Caitlin Clark having to balance her ability as a player, and that's all. But she will be because Stephanie White is smart. She'll play her 34 minutes, which will give her more energy for defense.
Well, so teach her defense, or they should just hire me.
Yeah, I mean, she's got terrible form.
Thank you, retro.
Thank you, retro.
It's more aerodynamic too.
You guys act like our viewpoint on this is like in the minority. We're very much in the majority that Caitlin Clark is not currently the best player in the WNBA. Only like super Caitlin Clark fans think that. Very few people think that. So you guys are making it sound like we're dumb when we think that, when the vast majority of people believe that.
No, Jay, I never had a Jerry curl. That was too much work. Oh my God, Jerry curl was so greasy. Oh. Jerry, I never rocked that. I always just kept my hair short. I never rocked that Jerry curl. No, thank you.
Elia Chavez is not visited. I didn't say she visited South Carolina. I said she's on her list of the 5 teams. We can win with her. We can win without her. Yeah, they weren't as fast as Iowa, and they didn't seem to be as fast as UCLA either. When I watched, UCLA seemed to had more energy than them and played faster than they did when they played UCLA. And when they played Iowa both times, they were slower than Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, Joseph, we talk about with flashy, with making a very regular bounce pass, then a regular behind the back bounce pass, and you want that. I mean, we talk about there. That's what we're talking about with the flair of ball players. I mean, only few can do that. I was telling Mark in high school, we had this guy, Glenn Hagan. He was all flair, even on and off the court. He can make those passes, but and that leads to her turnovers. Sometimes she makes those passes, and sometimes she just lobs it in there. I saw her just lob it in there, like, why are you doing it? But, that's what happens when you kind of try to make the best line Chick Hearn had was with Magic Johnson when he made this fancy pass and he threw it out of bounds, and Chick Hearn goes, and the Magic just threw the ball into the popcorn machine.
Was that again? Say that again?
Chick Hearn says, and Magic just threw the ball into the popcorn machine.
Caitlin Clark is the best guard and obviously the best point guard in the WNBA.
Fallwood, he played well yesterday, Bobby. She scored 20 points. She was happy. People were like ragging and saying that she was holding her back or she was mad at her. Like I don't know. You guys don't know what's going on with coaching. She could have did something that warned her not to play that much, but she's trying to get her to play better. That's why she's pushing her to play better, not holding her back. She knows she can play.
I'll give you another reason that I don't think Caitlin Clark is the best player in the WNBA. I haven't seen her take over fourth quarters like the best player in the league should do. I'm not saying it wasn't Christy Side's fault for part of the reason she doesn't take over the game or sometimes her teammates' fault, but she has not taken over games like the best player in the league should be able to take over. And I granted the refs held her back, Christy Sides held her back, some of her teammates held her back, but that's not the point. Is that she's not producing it on the court. I think all that'll change next year with the new coach. And so I think it won't take long for her to be the best player in the league. 10 or 20 games at the most before, especially if she can get her on-ball defense down.
You're right. That's what we're saying. You're right, Retro. That's what we're saying. Terrible coaching. She was exhausted. and she, she held up. She didn't know when to shoot the ball.
I think she could have been, by the end of the year, I think she could have been the best player in the WNBA if she had a different coach. But the bottom line is she didn't.
No.
Her coach didn't teach her proper defense, and she just didn't have the right tools to fulfill her potential that she could have. She could have had it. She had a great rookie year. She could have had even a better rookie year, obviously, with a better coach. So that doesn't mean she couldn't have been the best player in the league by the end of the year. With it, I think if Christy Sides was not her coach, I think she might have accomplished that by the end of the year, especially if she got on-ball defense.
Boxing, Enrique for Dallas, she could take over a fourth quarter. She gets hot, she can take over a fourth quarter.
You can be late, Retro. You got a cool name, so that's cool.
No worries. Oh yeah, I like your handle, Retro. No worries.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, man.
I don't know. I told you she should hire Drew Holiday for a week and teach her how to stay in front of her person, or Rob, or whatever. Stay in front of her person, because she has real trouble staying in front of her person. Her person blows by her. And then she also is too far off her person, and they make a big three. And that's a lot of points to give up, 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, that's
more of a problem than her turnovers. Her turnovers only give up a point. Giving up a three because she's too lazy to get over there, or she's cheating on defense, that costs you more than the turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, she's taken over. I mean, she took over a team that had losses, but But you were saying the point was who takes over in the fourth quarter? She can, Enrique. She can take over in the fourth. We saw in the All-Star game that Cheryl Miller just let her go, like, do it. When she was like, she just took it over when she's hot.
But I've given you 3 reasons. I think that's enough.
Oh, we don't baby fitness. We don't baby her. We're a fan of hers, but we don't.
She cheats too much on defense. She plays halfway in between the 3-point line and the post. That's not doing any good. She's not even double teaming someone. That's terrible positioning.
Yeah.
I don't know why Coach Sides doesn't correct. And Kelsey Mitchell does the exact same thing. And I saw Wallace do the exact same thing. That's terrible defense.
Yeah.
Just beyond the person in the 3-point shot.
Oh yeah, the 3-point. I mean, that was.
Unless you're going to double team someone because that's the best play, like Asia Wilson in the post. You should be on your person at the 3-point line. Why are you playing 3 feet off him?
Yeah, it used to drive me nuts watching that game. I'm like, get up on her.
She doesn't play through screens well. Sometimes she gets lost, and the person gets right over for 3.
Joseph, you can cheat on defense. I used to cheat on defense. You can cheat on defense when you're guarding somebody. If I know you're right-handed,
this way, Rob might not agree, but I think offense is 60% of the game when you're evaluating a player, and defense is 40%. Because I think team offense is more integral and more important than the team defense. But even if you put 60-40, that's still 40%. She's way worse than these other 3 players.
Well, the reason why I'm going to disagree with you, Mark, is because with offense, if you're having an off game, at least you can play some defense.
Well, these guys think the off defense is like 20% of the game.
I'm just saying your point. 60. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. You're saying 60-40, but if your offense is off, that's going to hurt you. But if you're playing defense, that's more important. That's more important. Your offense can be off. You could be 5 for 20, but then you could have a better defensive game.
In my opinion, if you think Caitlin Clark is the best player in the league, then you think defense is like 20% of the game. That's my opinion. And I don't agree with Rob that it's 50-50. I think it's 60-40.
Oh, I didn't say 50. I didn't say 50-50. I'm just saying defense is a really. I mean, that's the reason why I got to play. My offense was okay, but I got put in the first quarter or like in college or the first half, and I played the rest of the game. Why? Because I played defense.
I think you can change Caitlin. I don't think she had the right coaches to change her. I think Lisa Bluter realized she couldn't spend a lot of energy on defense. That's no excuse for not having poor stance. And I think Christy Sides didn't know enough about defense to teach her. And you can change Caitlin Clark. If you get in the right stance, her on-ball defense will change immediately. And it won't take away much energy. It'll only take a little bit more energy if she does that.
Retro, you're right.
Your feet.
Free throws are important. I shot 87%. Free throws that's a lost art. Being a Syracuse fan, I know about that. Free throws. Oh my gosh. But yeah, free throws.
I agree. She's coachable, and I think you look. I'm going to tell you, she wants to be the greatest player of all time, and she knows she has to improve her defense to do that. That's why I know her defense will be better than this year. I'll give you another reason why. Do you guys remember in the first preseason game?
I'm sorry. Again, Mark.
Remember the first preseason game?
Oh yeah.
She at Iowa, she used to play like 38, 40 minutes, whatever, and just run around. She was exhausted after 7 minutes of the first preseason game. And she was in great shape because she had just played the whole college season. Why? Because she was trying on defense for the first time in her life, or at least the first time she was in college. She was trying 100% on defense. She wasn't good at it because her stance was bad, but she was exhausted and she needed a break because she wasn't used to playing that intense of defense. She was trying to show everybody that she could play defense. Then she slacked off throughout the year because she got tired.
Yeah, defense is.
When you go watch that first preseason game, she was exhausted after 7 minutes because she was trying really hard on defense to show everybody that she could play defense.
Mark, you're right. Mark, how do I spell defense?
Work. W-O-R-K. I don't have to do my push-ups because I know how to spell defense.
Yeah, all right.
If I spell it wrong, Rob makes me do 20 push-ups, and I can't do 20 push-ups anymore.
That's what I used to tell my players.
When I was wrestling, I used to do 100.
That's when.
So we're not all going to agree on this, but we're in the majority, so I don't feel bad about it. It's not like we're idiots.
Yeah, you can't, Jay. You can't take your breaks on defense. You can take your breaks on offense, but not on defense.
Agreed.
Oh, I didn't shoot, Bobby. I never shot underhand. No, I always shot overhand. I would end when I practiced by myself. That's why I love basketball. You can practice by yourself. When I used to shoot outside, and then before I left, I had to hit 10 free throws in a row before I left.
I agree. Listen, I agree that her offensive responsibility drains her energy to play as good a defense as the other players do. I agree with that. That doesn't change the fact that she would be playing better defense if she got in a proper stance and slid her feet and stayed in front of her person when she shouldn't get blown by. Or how much energy does it take to just properly line up on the 3-point line so your person doesn't take a 3-point shot? That's not costing her much energy. And I don't know how you guys don't see that.
Joseph, you asked how you can cheat on defense. Of course you can cheat. If the person gets
Rob's defended. Rob's a defensive specialist.
Yeah, if you get the ball, and I know you're going to go baseline, I'm not going to play up you straight up. I'm going to drop my right foot, and I'm going to slide you to the baseline. So that's what we call cheating on defense. Or if you're guarding a person, they're right-handed, you force them left. That's cheating on defense. Yeah. So if you're playing defense, there's ways to cheat too. But the main thing it's a lot of work, and nobody likes to work on defense except for Holiday. If she keeps scoring, she'll never have to. Yeah, the bigs were out of shape in the beginning, Mitchell. They sure were. No, I never. Joseph, that's old school. I never did that. I never grabbed their shorts. I was all hands
I
up.
noticed nobody responded to that it wouldn't take her almost any more energy to play proper defense. Lining up on the 3-point line instead of halfway in between the 3-point line in the post, that doesn't take any energy. That's just being next to your player from the very beginning. And staying in front of your person, if she's in the proper stance, it doesn't take that much energy either.
And defense, Mark, is not just individual, it's team. So, with the ball's on the opposite side, it's easy. It's ball man. If you can't see the ball on your man, then that means your defense is horrible. If you're just on your man, you can't see the ball, then that means you're not playing good defense. Fitness, really? Sides was a decent coach? In what way? Please tell me what way was Sides a decent coach?
I thought she was a terrible coach.
Please tell me why. Look, there's no way she was a decent coach. No way. I'll have to argue with that one. Fitness. She was not a good coach. She didn't know how to call timeouts. She she didn't know how to sub.
Well, soccer's a different sport. I'm not going to argue about Lionel Messi. That's a soccer. It's a completely different sport.
Well, that's soccer. That's different. They don't play defense. I mean, he's not a defensive player. He's offense. Yeah, he's all offense. That's a different sport though. That's why you have defenders, and that's all they do is defend.
She's got a half a second to make a decision. I was like, what? Why? It's 24-second clock. It's not the same concept because it's not the same sport.
Yeah, it's not the same sport. I mean, sorry. I mean,
strikers don't play a lot of defense. They're not playing defense 50% of the time.
That's why they have defenders, and that's why they call them defenders, and that's why they call them strikers. They don't call them striker defender. They call them strikers.
Well, they don't play defense 50% of the time. In basketball,
right.
You do. So that's not.
I mean, in boxing, if they come back, some strikers come back, but I mean, I can see your point. They pressure when at the other end they pressure the ball before the ball is moved up the field. It's like a press. I mean, if you're a good striker, you pressure the ball, but I don't see too many strikers doing that.
One of the reasons I think LeBron is a better player than Magic Johnson is because he was a better defender. LeBron was twice. He was runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. He's a better defender than Magic Johnson. He's a better defender than Larry Bird. And I think he was better players than both of them, but not by a lot. I just think he was better. LeBron wasn't as good a defender as Michael Jordan. That's one of the reasons I think Michael Jordan is better than LeBron.
Yeah,
and Jabbar was a good defender, but he wasn't like a fantastic defender.
Well, I mean, everybody says like these stoppers, like they got the stopper defender. You know, they don't have that nowadays. You know, that's essentially, I have to say that's what I was. They put me on the best player.
Rob was a stopper.
The guys.
Michael Jordan couldn't score off Rob.
I wouldn't let him score. He would score for me. No, he would score for me, but it wouldn't be that.
He was a spy for the enemy. Well, it was for one team at least. We know that. If LeBron had the clutch game, he'd be pushing Michael as the GOAT. I agree with that statement, but he doesn't. And that's part of the reason Michael Jordan was the GOAT wasn't just because he was great offensively and great defensively, but he also had the clutch gene, which, you know, he just had the greatest clutch gene ever in team sports, in my opinion. I don't know about individual sports. I don't think you can compare. So that's why I think Michael Jordan was better than LeBron. LeBron may be the best passer ever. He might be better than Magic Johnson.
Yeah. Fitness, based on
I
her
think
record,
LeBron's the second best player ever.
No, Fitness. Just read what Vadim said about her and all the things.
Party like a Diddy party.
No. Oh wow, you went there. Okay, Retro. I'm not.
I'm not sure you'd want to be there, Retro.
I'm doing a no comment on that one. No, Fitness. She was not a decent coach. She was not. Would Jordan be it? He probably was there. What do you mean? Was Jordan? Of course he was there.
Would he be at a Diddy party?
Of course he's there.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was there.
I can't say he never went to one. I wasn't around with Jordan.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You saw his sports car speeding out of there really quickly. He used to drive around Chicago, speed all over the place. They just pull him over and go, "Come on, Michael, slow down." So I don't have to give you a ticket.
Also, Fitness, Sides never stuck up for her players. When Clark got knocked down that first time with the hip check, where was she? How many technical fouls did
I would have been thrown out of the game?
Yeah, I would have been thrown out. I mean, then
Rob would have been thrown out of the game. His clipboard would have come down.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then when she got jabbed in the eye, Fitness, where was Sides? She doesn't even back up her
Erica
player.
Wheeler came off the bench and got over to Caitlin Clark's side quicker than her coach did.
Yeah. So, I mean, she got no technical fouls. She had 2 technical fouls the whole year. 2. That's crazy.
Yeah, LeBron has hits. LeBron might be more clutch than you think, though. There are some stats that he's hit a bunch of game-winning shots in the playoffs. more than anybody else. But he has a better percentage than Kobe does in terms of in two different, in more than one statistic.
I know. You didn't say greatest, but she wasn't even a decent coach. Fitness. I'm sorry.
I gave her a 2 out of 10, and the 2 I'm giving her just because she got some team chemistry after the Olympics that helped them go on a winning streak.
Did you see her out of bounds plays? A 3-pointer for Boston when you have Clark. Come on, you have Boston shooting a 3-pointer, or then you have Clark inbounding the ball. At least, like if she's going to do that, inbound it, set a screen for her, and then give the ball back to her so she can score. So I'm sorry, I don't even give her a decent. She was not a decent coach. She just happened to have, like we said, the players just kind of started playing for themselves.
Yeah, the problem was she was never a head coach at any level before, which is kind of strange to me. Like I kept reading she was assistant. She wasn't even a head coach at a high school before, which tells me maybe, I mean, again, I don't think calling timeouts is a difficult concept, but she couldn't even handle that.
Yeah, you're right, Vadim. She never went to Clark at the end of the game. Not once. Not once did she go to Clark at the end of the game.
I don't know. I think Michael Jordan, if I want to take a last shot, I'd give it to Michael Jordan, not Larry Bird. But Larry Bird would be second.
Yeah. John Havlicek.
Jerry West.
John Havlicek. Hondo.
So did Jordan do the same thing?
I can back it up.
I saw Michael Jordan close out so many playoff games in the last 5 minutes. It's unbelievable in his career. That's
true, Fitness. Some people talk trash and they can't back it up. I played against people like that.
Paint touches, yeah. Gotta have 50 paint touches a game.
Yeah, pass.
And then pass it out for the 3. I go, oh God.
Can you imagine?
Their post players weren't good enough to get double teamed to open up the 3-point shot.
And they couldn't catch the ball. Boston couldn't even catch the ball. She couldn't hold on to it.
If you had a dominant post player that they felt they had a double team, that might work. Because they would double team her, and then you'd pass it out to the open person with the open 3. And you had good 3-point shooters. But finally, I mean, Hall became Christy Hall became a good 2-point shooter.
I'm in Virginia, Vanda. Nice. Thanks for joining. Vanda,
I agree that Caitlin Clark, you will see Caitlin Clark be like Michael Jordan probably the rest of her career in the fourth quarter and taking final shots. Now that she's away from Christy Sides. Christy Sides completely screwed up her head in the fourth quarter. I'm not even blaming her. I'm blaming Christy Sides. And she hit 2 game buzzer beaters in college. And she also had several other big shots in the last 3 minutes of the game in her college career. So she's a clutch player. She just wasn't this year with Fever because the coach had her all screwed up.
Oh, thanks, Swag. Thanks for stopping by. I'm thinking eventually, since she's in Texas, I'm thinking she's going to stay home, either go to Texas or Texas Tech, even though she's been courted by South Carolina. But I think she's going to stay closer to home.
I don't think Texas Tech is good enough. I think she'll go to Texas.
Thanks, Fitness.
I think she'll go to what's her name? Who's the star forward for Texas? What's her name? I forgot her name.
Booker. It's Booker.
Booker, yeah. I think she'll go play Booker with 2 years because
Booker's good. Booker's only a sophomore.
She's only 2 years to win a championship with Booker.
Another sophomore, Mark. All these sophomores, man.
Yeah, that's the advantage of her going to play to Texas. She gets Booker for 2 years. She's got a nice in-out combination there. Yeah, Texas Tech doesn't have a star player like that.
No,
but they're not bad. They're just not ranked. They just don't play a tough enough schedule.
I think she'll stay close to home and go to Texas.
I think she'll go to Texas, but she goes to South Carolina. She's only going to play 25 minutes. Okay, you're on Team Bobby U. Fine. You guys are in a small minority.
Team Bobby U. I didn't know Bobby had a team.
My channel, I'm right.
Bobby U's team. But Mark, he's got a team.
That high school player did the video, yes. She's closer to Caitlin Clark than any of the players in college are right now. I'm not saying she's as good as Caitlin Clark. I'm not saying she's better than Juju Watcher and Paige. I'm just saying her style of play and her attitude is closer to Caitlin Clark. And she can score, she can pass, she can defend too. She's got some cockiness to her. Texas, is it Lubbock's? Is that how you pronounce it?
What did she say about that, Mark? Mark, remember what was her comment about that?
She said, "Don't call me cocky unless you know me." So that means people are calling her cocky.
Right. Right.
She's Mexican. Both her parents are Mexican, but they're U.S. citizens. But she's Mexican descent. Lubbock's, yeah, I know. I don't. My pronouncing that right? Lubbock's, Texas. She's from Lubbock's, Texas. She is. I'm not saying she's more exciting than, say, Hannah Hidalgo, but she's more exciting than Juju or Paige, from what I saw. But of course, Paige looked more exciting in high school too, till Gino got a hold of her.
Huh.
Dallas or Bengals? Bengals.
I got the Bungles.
The only reason to watch this game is Ja'Marr Chase. Mr. Chase, he's an exciting receiver.
Yeah.
Juju and Paige are overrated. It certainly looks that way, but that's because they're saying like they're the greatest things in the world.
Hidalgo's fun to watch. She said over the head pass she made two of them too, and then.
Do you all think Juju is in the wrong culture at USC? No, I think it's the media in general, not USC.
No, she's an LA person, so she's right. She knows how it is, so she knows how California. And I'm not an LA. I don't like. I lived in San Francisco for 13 years. I like San Francisco better than LA. LA people.
Flajay is very good. Sorry, Rob. Flajay is very good, and she's also exciting. She's got some flair to her game. I like her game, but. We'll find out. We won't really know who the best players are for another month when they start playing some tougher interconference games and stuff like that. But Rob says no one's going to go undefeated this year, and I think I agree with him. So when's the UCLA first tough game coming up? Because we know UConn's got like 3 tough games this month.
Playing South Carolina. Oh, no. They played I forgot they were playing next. I had the schedule up. Shoot.
UCLA. I'm talking about UCLA. Let me look
up. I just had them up. Shoot.
You got UCLA schedule? When are they going to play a tough game again? I'm not saying they play an easy schedule. I'm just saying they haven't played anyone recently that was tough. Okay, so far they've only played Louisville, Rob?
Louisville and South Carolina. Yeah, Louisville and South Carolina.
Only played 2 ranked teams, Louisville and South Carolina.
Those are only 2 teams they played.
They don't play a ranked team.
Yes, she has improved their game a lot.
Oh, man, they don't play a highly ranked team until Maryland on January 26th. But they played 2 ranked teams at the end of the year, Nebraska and Michigan. But they're 20th, 4th, and 20.
Swag, I think if South Carolina plays them right now, I think they'll blow out UCLA. South Carolina's on a mission now after that loss.
Really? You think they'll blow UCLA out?
I think they'll blow them away.
Not just beat them, but blow them away. Okay.
At least by blowout, I say they'll win by 20 points. I think they can.
That's a blowout. So they play USC in February. UCLA and USC play in February. Really, Rob? You think they'd blow UCLA out right now?
Oh, right now, yeah. Because if you watch the game yesterday,
the rest of the year unless they play in the playoffs.
They after that loss with UCLA, they're so focused now. I mean that defense. You see that defense they did. They shut down one of the best players there in Prince. And they had steals. Their offense was moving. The jump shots. They were fast breaking. They looked like the UCLA. Looked like the South Carolina team of last year. They really did. They looked pretty scary. And with Fallwoody, she was playing really well. If they get her going, forget it. No one's going to beat them. Bobby
says Paige, Juju, and Flage are the best players in college. I don't agree with you. Hannah Nadal goes in that same conversation.
You gotta put Hannah. Yeah, you gotta put Hannah in there.
I don't agree with that at all. She's just as good as those right now. So far, what she's played, she's just as good as those players.
Wow, 16-0 retro. Wow. Where see Indian Valley Braves? What city is that near retro? Is that central Ohio?
And the leading scorer in the country, if I pronounced her name right, I haven't seen play yet, but I saw highlights of her. Tanaya Latson.
Yeah, I mean, I can't compare the two teams, Swag, but
he's up there too.
I'm just going by what I saw. Like Mark said, the UCLA schedule is not that tough. South Carolina is going to play in a tougher conference, and they're playing really well. Sorry.
I am rooting for UCLA to win. Here's my reasoning. I don't like Gino, so I can't root for them, and I don't want Paige to have a championship because then the end of that Paige will be the greatest player of all time, according to UConn people. And I can't root for Juju because I don't want her to have a championship as a sophomore. It's too early. And so I got to root for UCLA because I have nothing against them.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
have anything against. I'm not crazy about Kim Mulkey either, and I'm not crazy about Dawn Staley. So I don't want to root for North Carolina. So I'm rooting for UCLA. Dawn Staley, I don't like. I think she's a great coach, though. Great recruiter.
Let's see, Swag.
So Bobby, that's not Bobby. That how good she'll be in the pros are two different stories. Whether or not she's the best player in the country right now, it's two different conversations. You said those are the three best players, and I don't agree with you.
You're right. Fitness. They had that was. I know they hate that saying. That's a good loss, but that was a good loss for them. Oh wow, nice retro. 20 miles from Canton, Hall of Fame. Are you a Browns fan? Gotta be a Browns fan. Our poor Browns. Come on. Retro, are you a Browns fan?
Nobody likes Gino. Nobody likes Gino. Yeah, I got to root for UCLA. I have nothing against them. That's my theory.
That's the logic, Bobby. That's the logic. That's the logic kicking in there. That's the logic kicking in. You know that.
I can TCU. I don't have anything against TCU either, but I'm not good. After what they got destroyed by South Carolina.
Yeah, way to go, Retro. You can come on anytime you want to, Retro.
I'm a hate watcher. I mean, there's the three best coaches in women's basketball to me are not likable. I don't think Mulkey's likable. I think
it's not about the coach, Mark. It's about the team, the poor players.
I know, but I don't. But if I don't like the coach, why should I root for the team? I don't want the team coach to be successful if I don't like him. Sorry.
Yeah, me too, Retro. Yeah, that was a bad move with Deshaun. You're right about that, Retro.
Best basketball. Okay, now you're splitting hairs, Bobby. Best basketball players in college are not saying they're the best collegiate players. That's what you implied by saying best basketball player in college. Sorry. I don't like Dawn Staley because she kept Caitlin Clark off the Olympic team, for one. And number two, after Lisa Bluter said, well, getting a rebound against them is like being in a bar fight or something like that. She said, we're not this. And she turned it into a race thing, which the comment wasn't racist. She said, we're not monkeys. It's just like she turned it into a race thing at Lisa Bluter. And also, she didn't compliment Caitlin Clark until after she beat her, Caitlin Clark. When she lost to Caitlin Clark, after her junior year, she didn't say anything nice about Caitlin Clark. So she's an anti-Caitlin Clark, so I can't root for her. Sorry.
Vadim, I'm writing that down in my diary. You agree with Mark on something. Dear Diary, December 9th. Vadim agrees with Mark. There we go. It's in my diary now.
Agrees
Vadim.
with me on a lot of these. Bobby, you. No. There's only one guy that disagrees, but he's not even here tonight. Bayless.
I know. Where's our boy Basil? Where's Basil?
He disagrees with everybody, Rob. It's not just me.
Yeah, it's not just you. Yeah. Where's my man Basil?
Do I think she'll write a book about her years with Caitlin Clark? I don't know. She'll make a lot of money if she does. That'll sell it. Anything that Caitlin Clark sells. And
Oh yeah,
Mr.
Mr. Terrible. Mr. Terrible's banned, Vadim. So
He's been upset at Caitlin Clark ever since she liked what's her name? The real greatest star on the planet, not Paige Beckers. Basil likes to take the opposing viewpoint, even if he doesn't believe it. That's just he's a contrarian.
yeah, it's fun. Basil's fun.
Not as many funny targets me.
Yeah. Nobody's safe.
Contrarians are contrarians so that because they want to try to appear smarter than they are. Sorry, that's what contrarians are. They're saying, "Look, I thought of this and you didn't think of this. Look at how smart I am. We thought of that too, but we just balanced things out and we thought this was more important than what you were arguing." Taylor Swift, yeah. So I couldn't even think of Taylor Swift's name. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Retro, you're going back in time. Where's the beef with Wendy's? You're going back in time.
I didn't even know who Bayless was, and like the first 10 comments he made was, "I disagree. This is wrong. This is wrong. I go, okay, whatever."
Oh, Swag, sorry, I didn't answer your question how you regard beats. Yeah, they have some bigs in there, but South Carolina has some bigs too, and they handled Prince, who was taller, when they got it in 7. What you do is I would double down on bets on Bates. That's what I would do.
Bobby, he may be smart, but he tries to appear smarter than he is by being a contrarian all the time. There's a difference. She's been given Caitlin Clark before she was famous. Could we talk about Dawn Staley?
No, I think she's talking about maybe Taylor Swift. Oh,
Taylor Swift? Oh, yeah. Mr. Terrible got upset when Taylor Swift liked the tweet about voting.
Yeah, Retro. Living in the U.S. kind of sucks sometimes. Growing up, I grew up in that era of the civil rights, so it's like Mark and I went to a school. I went to Mark's school. High school was what 90% at the time.
I think 95, Rob. You said
yeah, like 90. Yeah,
people in my class out of 476 was 99% white.
Yeah, I mean it was 95%. But I had no problem at the high school. I never had met any kind of racism or anything. The families. I used to ride my bike from the city to go out and see my friends. Yeah, that's the way you do it. Yes, Swag. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I agree with you, Swag. Yeah, that's the main thing, open-minded. Mark's teaching me to be more, objective. Mark's teaching me that.
Just about your teams, Rob.
Oh, just about the teams. Speaking of that, see how the Knicks are doing right now. See, the Knicks are playing now. It's tied up. They're playing Toronto. Okay, it's tied up. Speaking of teams.
The difference between civil rights movement and the woke movement is not okay. Bobby, I'll agree with you for once. I think there's a big difference. I think you are totally right, Bobby. You are totally right on that. They've taken it too far. What was the? I watched what's her name? I wrote it down because she worded it so well. And that's not exactly a new thought, but she worded it well. What's her name?
Totally different.
No. Oh, what's her? The podcaster. Oh God, what is her name? Rob's never any help.
Yeah, that's crazy, Marie. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I think, like I said, the next time they play Marie, I think they might. They'll run UCLA. If they get the ball, they'll run them into the ground.
Adrian Ross. So Rob, they won't play again until the NCAA tournament.
Oh wow. Oh, Retro. So you better grab up those eggs, man. The egg prices are crazy. They're really crazy now, the egg prices. I'm gonna have to come to. I'm gonna have to go there to Ohio and get some eggs. If you're right there,
If you don't want me to dig in, come up with better reasons for why I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, woke movement is not even. It's so stupid because they don't even know the word. They're using the word wrong as far as woke. Like I said, like last time, when I was growing up in the ghetto, that's what they say. Stay woke. That means watch out for around you, your environment. That's what it meant. It was no kind of movement or anything. It was just be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of, and unfortunately, be aware of the police.
Right.
That's what it meant. That's what, stay woke. Yeah, I know. We won't do that. We'll do that last time. Thanks, fitness. We won't do that last time.
If you want to donate to our channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below. There's a link to PayPal.
Andre's too much mommy.
Adrian
preachy.
Ross is too preachy.
I don't.
Yeah, but she does have common sense. So, and she has basketball knowledge because she was a coach. So that's what I like about her. But what she said was, we've got a culture. No, she said a culture of people who are looking. Culture of people. Oh, we have a culture of people looking. I must have put in a word.
Oh yeah, retro. I got spam, man. That's my dad. Spam was for my dad. He served in the Korean War, so he got me turned down to spam. We were poor too. Yeah, spam, dry McJello, exactly. See, that's what I mean about the race in the U.S. Everybody had, every people of color had their thing. So it's just like,
She said, we've got a culture of people who are looking to be offended about every single thing. And that's what the very far left is doing. And it's driving me freaking crazy. And then she said, some people see race in everything. And she's basically in connection with that. And those are obvious points, but she worded it well, the first one. My kids still eat spam.
I love spam. Yep. I have some spam the other day. Do you know Hawaii has a big, huge cave?
I don't think I've ever eaten spam in my life.
Really? Well, my dad was in the Korean War, so he I remember he turned me on to that. Spam.
That was in World War II, but he never made us eat spam. Yeah, I've heard of it. I may have seen
it's
it.
Good stuff. Like I said, it's a delicacy in Hawaii. They have a whole cave full of it, just in case there's some
Isn't it like it lasts forever? Isn't that why they use it in the wars? Isn't like it'll last forever in a can?
Oh yeah. So they call it luncheon. It's called luncheon. They call it luncheon meat, but the brand name is spam. It's actually luncheon meat, essentially.
So what is it? Is it ham? What is spam? Is spam ham that's all processed and salt on it and stuff, or what?
Even Monty Python, spam, 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 spam. They even made a musical, Spam-A-Lot. Monty Python in the Broadway.
Okay. It said it comes from a Monty Python sketch where the canned pork product was mentioned.
Joseph, people tell you have no filter. I think you have a filter, Joseph.
Okay, so spam is made with pork, ham, salt, water, potato starch, sugar, and sodium nitrite.
It's totally bad for you, Mark.
What's that?
I mean, they had the poor soldiers. That's what they had to eat. That's
right.
It.
So it's pork and ham with a bunch of sugar and salt in it, and potato starch too. Apparently,
a lot of salt, Mark. A lot of salt.
I know that's what makes it from going bad.
It should be the ingredient should be salt. Salt should be the first thing.
They have to put a lot of salt in it so it doesn't go bad. I've never had it.
No, what about Vienna sausages? Vienna sausages.
Tinned fish. I don't know what tinned fish is. Like, what's tinned fish? Like
tuna nice, fish? Bobby.
You mean tuna fish? What's tinned fish?
No, well, like sardines, like sardines.
Oh, I don't like sardines.
What about Vienna sausages? Yep, slice it. I slice mine thick though. Retro. I slice mine thick, and I usually have eggs and I have tomatoes with it.
Ugh.
Eggs and tomato with spam.
When did Marie get here? Marie wants. Hi, Marie. I didn't see Marie before. Sorry.
Well, Joseph. Now they have which I hate. They have the low salt spam. I'm like, no.
Really? So on YouTube, you remove the salt from spam. Okay, how do you do that besides rinse it out? But okay. Then you fry it with teriyaki, and it's pretty awesome. Well, it's probably because the teriyaki tastes good. I like teriyaki sauce.
Well, the teriyaki adds a salt, so it's that replaces the salt.
Well, teriyaki just has a nice flavor to it. I just like teriyaki flavor.
But it has salt in it. So if you remove the salt from the Spam, then you just add the salt.
Vienna
Like,
sausages and barbecue.
it's like with soy. It's like soy sauce.
Yeah, I like teriyaki sauce better than soy sauce. I like duck sauce.
Duck sauce is good.
And I like the sauce they give you with dumplings. I don't know the name of that. I forgot.
But not as sweet as you, Joseph. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Hey, I lived in San Francisco for 13 years, you know.
Rob's got a sweet side to him. My favorite line, that's one of my favorite lines on Blazing Saddles, where he goes, "Oh, Mongo's a little soft on him." He goes, "Mongo's straight."
I know, whole Mongo's straight. He breaks it, knocks him down.
Where the white women at?
That's my line. I used to go to bars and say that. I was bad.
Can we dance with your dates? Can we dance with your dates?
I work at a deli, Retro, and some people get people from Pennsylvania asking they want their meat slice chipped.
Low smoke, like coffee without caffeine, cigarettes without nicotine, or Marcus without Rob. That's true. I wouldn't be as good without Rob.
That's right. Like peaches without Herb.
And we disagreed on today's video, so that's good. We agreed too much. I told Rob we agreed too much, so we did a video.
Yeah, Marie Show Swoops she's whacked. So
she needs counseling though. She's got like psychological problems.
Yeah, exactly. When she said the blacks can't be racist, I'm like, I like to raise my hand. My mom was, I have to say, she was a racist. Even though she hung around whites and she let me go to an all-white school, she was a racist. I can tell you.
I would puke if I did what? Oh my God! If I hadn't
didn't have spam,
if I ate spam. Well, it sounds like it's got a lot of salt in it.
It's like I said.
And ham already has salt in it. So
well,
now, pork isn't that salty, but ham is.
And the spam lasts forever. Like I said, in Hawaii, they have a whole huge cave for where they, just in case something happens, you can go to this cave. It's all full of spam.
Well, have you ever see the like a lot of canned soups? They're good for like 3 years when they put on the dates on them.
Marie, I'm not. I used to like Vienna sausages, but not anymore.
Vienna sausages. What are Vienna sausages as opposed to?
Mark, you know Vienna sausages either?
I don't know. I don't know if I've had them or not.
Those little things in a small can, little sausages in a small can. You open them up.
They're in small cans?
Yeah, they're in a small little can. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had them.
Wow. You ain't healthy, Mark.
They sound German.
Your parents were good. Mark, your parents are good. They kept you healthy.
From Austria? Is that like from Austria, Vienna?
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, sounds kind of Germanish stuff, so I don't know.
Your people's food.
Mice people? Yeah. I am German. And both my parents got German descent.
Yeah, Retro. We'll send
Portuguese sardines. I don't want to try anyone's sardines. I don't like seeing.
Yeah, Retro. We'll send them some spam and some Vienna sausage.
You gonna send me a care package? I can cook. I don't need a care package. My mother never sends me care packages anymore.
Bobby with the cheap shot.
Mark never struggled.
Don't read Mark. Don't read Bobby's thing. Don't read Bobby's.
Bobby.
It's always one, Mark.
There's always, Bobby's always looking for attention.
Chitlins and ham hocks. Ham hocks are good. Chitlins, yeah.
Oh, and ham hocks.
Ham hocks.
Rob, have you had those before? I've never had ham hocks or chitlins before.
Ham hocks, you gotta put ham hocks in collard greens, man.
I've had collard greens. I tried. I don't like the collard greens, but I never had chitlins or ham hocks.
You had collard greens? You didn't like them? Who made them for you?
I don't really like. They're too. It's too chewy for me.
No, well, someone didn't make them for you correctly. Then that's why.
Well, I don't like spinach really either. I mean, I
What?
like spinach if it's mixed with things. I don't like spinach by itself. Like if it's mixed with like
Like
tomatoes, I don't
cream?
like tomatoes by itself,
What
but I
about
like it mixed with things.
what about cream spinach?
Cream spinach. I don't know if I've ever had that or not.
Usually, like in the steaks, usually in steakhouses, they usually have the
What
cream.
about pig
cream
feet,
spinach.
Rob? Did you have pig feet?
No, I don't like pig feet. Ugh.
Have you
Oh
tried
my
it though?
God.
I never tried it.
No.
Now I have had pig
No.
cheeks. I've had pig cheeks. That pig cheeks is delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, the
No
cheeks.
pig
Oh my
feet for me.
God. It's unbelievable how it's like pork, but it's tender and softer and juicier.
Marie, usually we start at 6 and usually we end at 8. We're running up because we're gonna.
We usually go a few minutes late because you guys like us so much we can't turn off.
Bobby, chitlins taste. They're the caviar of black people supposedly, but they smell like the word shit when they're cooking them. They do. They smell horrible when you're cooking them. They're pig intestines.
Oh,
They're pig intestines.
you know how it all started, right, Rob? Oh God.
Oh, I know how soul food started.
Yeah. Oh,
I know how it started.
carrots, cabbage, and why would you put Jello with carrots and cabbage?
I had sea urchin. I actually caught a sea urchin when I was in Thailand. I had sea urchin before.
The only pig's cheeks is good.
Mhm.
There's veal cheeks is good too.
Look at
Those
cows.
are completely
Wow,
different. That's a
Retro.
tender part. That's a tender part.
Carrots, cabbage, and Jello. Who?
Well, AK Nation did not call in. I'm disappointed. I wanted him to debate with Rob about the factory schools. But it was nice that he watched our video and commented. He said, "Great video."
Yeah.
AK Nation gave us a compliment today.
Yes, you're right, Joseph. It's a nuclear. That's why they put it in the caves.
If there's a
Because
nuclear,
there's a nuclear attack.
cockroaches and spam will still be there. That's true.
Oh yeah.
So now what are krepels?
Oh, Kreppels. That's what the heck? That is. It's square. I think it's square, and you chop it up, and you make it like it's also pork crepes. Crepes, I think that's what it is.
Okay, I'll give you a dinner that we had growing up, and we made it Memorial Day weekend. We went home for a wedding. Apple fritters and canned salmon with lemon juice. Apple fritters. That's a great dinner. Apple fritters. They're like real apple fritters you cooked in oil, like not the apple fritters like our donuts, but there's a similar. They're similar, but they don't have the sugar, glazed sugar on top. You have cinnamon sugar and you deep fry it. And then when it comes out, and look with an egg batter, it's apples with like an egg batter. And then you put it in cinnamon sugar over the top and you have them. They're really, really good.
Okay. Bobby, you want to know what OK Nation said?
He said our video was great. His exact words were great. He said, let's see, was this
Great discussion, I think he said.
He said, great video. I will call into your show if I'm available. And that was 9 hours ago after watching the video on his concept. Should number one high school recruit Leah Chavez avoid factory schools like South Carolina and UConn? He apparently either he found the video or someone told him about it, because I referenced him in the video. And I said, thanks, we enjoy your videos too. Sounds good. And I gave him the phone number and the time, but he didn't call in. I tried to email him, but there's no email on his website. So if you know how to get a hold of him, you can call in any Monday. Rob said he'll be here next Monday, right, Rob? You don't have to work next Monday night. Ice cream on the fritter. Now you wouldn't want to put ice cream on this fritter. It's not a dessert it's not a dessert. It's like an entree. It's an apple fritter. It's like an entree.
I know, Joseph. Huh? We go from basketball to junk food. We cover everything here at this.
Yeah, I was surprised by OK Nation. I knew he knew who you were, because I don't know, Bobby, was you or somebody else pointed out that he mentioned us in one of his videos. He was talking about the black YouTubers who support Caitlin Clark, and he had a picture of 4 different black YouTubers, And then he said, also, there's Mark and Rob. So Rob kind of got us in there.
Because of my
I'm not very
glasses.
black.
Because I wear glasses, right?
So he got us in. So he did know who we were.
Yeah, you're
He
right,
said
Chris.
Basically said
She
we
makes-
support Caitlin Clark too.
You're right, Chris. She makes baskets by osmosis.
Makes
She
baskets.
definitely does.
It will be interesting to see what her game is like this year. Because, she's going to work on her shot, but I'm not sure she has the right people teaching her. Because if I was working on her shot, she would change her form. Is a baby giraffe. Yeah. Chicks Dig Scar podcast said she looks unathletic, and she got a lot of hate comments because he said that from Angel Reese fans. But I agree with her. She looks unathletic to me.
No, the league's going to be that 3-point league is going to. Are you going to watch it, Retro? I don't think too many people are going to watch it. I'm sorry, no one's going to watch 3-on-3 basketball.
Watch what?
She was Retro's asking me to watch the
not without Caitlin Clark or not.
Yeah, I mean,
I bet you, Rob. I wonder what the over under is for like a typical game, like 50,000.
Right.
Seriously, 100,000. What is the over under
for 3-on-3?
Yeah, I mean,
you mean points?
No. Doesn't TNT have a contract with them to televise some of the games?
Oh, right.
What's the over under and how many viewers? It can't be very high. I don't think there is a bet on that, but let me see what the Vegas odds are and who's going to win the WNBA championship this year. I mean, not the WNBA, the college basketball. Let me just see. I don't think I did. I looked up the odds for the who's going to win Player of the Year. Let's see. Vegas odds. Women's college basketball. Team title. So I don't get player.
All right. Well, y'all, I got to get dinner going here.
All right, Rob. So here it is.
Chicken thighs.
Vegas Insider.
Oh, I want to hear first.
South Carolina plus 145. Texas is ahead of Connecticut. Oh, get out of here. When is this? This is
Texas is good. Connecticut's they lost. They messed up in Hawaii.
I don't know when this came out. Hang on a second. No, it's got UCLA plus 1,200 after you. No, this can't be right. Let me just see.
Retro. I think so. I mean, Witherspoon was the worst coach ever. She was the worst coach, I thought. But she's coaching the 3-on-3.
Yeah, this is more reasonable.
It's funny.
They got UConn. They got South Carolina first, UConn second, and Notre Dame third, and UCLA fourth, and USC fifth, and Texas sixth. So yeah, that first one was off. All
right, y'all. Let me get going here. Let me get something to eat.
USC third. All right.
Good to see you all. New people I've never seen here. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate it. Don't forget to contribute.
All right. So Monday night, we'll try to do that show live. What is it? Notre Dame and UConn? Is that what it is? At 7?
You mean Thursday night?
Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night. So try to join us for that.
Yeah, we'll try to stop in. We'll try to do that Thursday night game.
Yeah, South Carolina looks like they're on a mission right now. That UCLA game woke them up like crazy. They woke a monster.
Yeah, they sure did.
We'll see when they play another really great team. They haven't played a great team. They played a good team in TCU. But let's see if they play a great team, what happens.
All right. Take care, Jay.
All right.
See
you guys later. I'm going to watch the football game. It's about to start. I'm going to watch a little bit of it. Then I'm going to go to sleep. Eat a little something and go to sleep.
I'm going to keep track of my nice.
I like to see Dallas lose.
Take care, Retro. Nice to meet you. Be sure to stop back in maybe Thursday, some of you.
All right. So Thursday, we'll try to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone, have a good night. And thanks for joining us tonight. That was good. We were up to how many? What was our max, Rob? Did you see?
It was like up to 19 or 20 actually.
20.
22.
All
I think
right.
I saw 22 actually. So
22.
yeah.
All right. We got to get back up to 50. We had that anyways. All right, Rob.
All right.
Peace
Yep.
out.
Take care. Yeah. Peace out.
Peace
Yeah.
out, Rob.
Hey.
Bobby's stealing your line.
I know. Hey, Bobby, that's my line. Hey.
You can't do that. And
Peace
we'll
out,
see.
y'all.
You can't steal mine. I'll say we'll see you in the next video. All right. See you later.